Welcome back to SVR race fans and the AN division. My name is Webbo. I'm very happy to be back with you all, and thank you to Zabi for standing in for us and doing an excellent job covering the round 9 at the Red Bull Ring. This is how things look after that race, and Mega Racing lead the championship for the teams by 33 points at the moment from season-long rivals Delesi in second place on 193. Then Jann Interiors now have 158. Burgerstein have 1, 2, 3. Brokaga in 5th with 112. Kimmy's Racing Team 108. And Coach Dave have 90. In the drivers' standings, things looking very tight at the top, of course. We've got Pat Finn, who has won 3 times. But not since round 4 on 115 points. However, he has missed 2 races, of course, as has Wask, but Wask has seemingly had the better of the exchanges in the recent portion of the season. This is round 10 of the 13, so we are closing in 3 wins each now, Pat Finn and Wask, and been sharing the podium multiple times since that as well. Revelit in the 3rd place joins me on 92 points. However, I didn't take part in this race either because, as you can probably tell in my voice right now, it wasn't really up to practice, and my health has been a little bit shaky since my vacation. So that's where things stand. I think I'll be tumbling down the order through the rest of the season. Biggerwood in 5th on 66 points, and Thump not far away as well, despite not starting with us until round 4. Thump now has 57 points and is in 6th position. Rizbak is in 7th on 53 with Sparky Watt not far behind on 50. In 8th place. In 9th we have Brum on 40 with Yabo, who is in 10th place on 38 point. Milo has 19 and Hervas has 15. We have a few newcomers. We have a couple of returning faces for only their 2nd race with us here today, but we're ready to get underway for 19 laps around the Dragon Trail International Raceway and the seaside configuration here. So we're looking forward to seeing how the drivers can compete. Let's have a look, though, at how things worked out in qualifying. Milo qualifying at the back of the grid in 14th place with Brum alongside him on row 7. Biggerwood qualifying in 12th, and Bibar, who is replacing myself here last minute, qualifying in 11th for Team Mega. Bannon qualifying in 10th place for Kimmy's, and we've got Rizbak in 9th, so an all Kimmy's row 5. Yank the Tank in 8th, and M. Capas, or Capas as I will probably refer to him, for Brokaga, making his debut with us here and qualifying impressively in 7th place. Sock in 6th. For Jann Placht, and Apex Not Found standing in here from the GT3 division, and Apex Not Found for Coach Dave obviously is going to enjoy sitting in the AN cart, which is fabulous. If you're used to a GT3, this will feel very nimble and very grippy in the corners. Thump in 4th. For Delesi, looking like Delesi are in strong position then for the race, with the rearmost driver qualifying in 4th place. Hervas continuing to impress here and being trained very well by compatriot and Lord of the Sith, of course, Vader himself, and Hervas, the Spaniard, in 3rd place for Coach Dave. Then we've got those title rivals, the Canucks at the front of the grid. You've got Pat Finn, who has been so impressive early season, and Wask, who has been slightly more impressive in the middle part of the season. It's going to be head-to-head battle between these two great friends and rivals. We're looking forward to seeing how the drivers get on over the course of 19 laps. A small tweak to the settings in as much as we have turned down tyre wear to 4 times instead of 5 times, so that should mean that the soft tyre lasts a little bit longer. Both tyres obviously last a little bit longer. It means that it will just open up those strategy options a little bit. Wask is starting on the mediums, Wask on the softs, Finn on the mediums, and I'll just make sure I know everybody who's on the softs. So there's is Thump on the softs, Apex, Capas, Anybody else? No. So just those few drivers then starting on the soft tyres. Definitely the Delesi pairing. So let's see how things look as we get away from the grid. Drivers are ready to go. We're ready to watch them. And it's time for round 10 of the AN Championship here at the VR SimRacing World Championship. It's drop the clutch and go, go, go. An initial good reaction there from Wask as the soft tyres start to bite really well. And Thump is coming up on the inside. He's got the inside line against Hervas. He's also got the inside line on Pat Finn as they were going to try and go 3 wide into the first chicane. That's the Suker chicane. Thump a little bit circumspect there on the brakes. Pat Finn into second place as the drivers go through and filter through nicely then. Oh, that's a problem then for Bannon, who has got that typical oversteer on throttle on the corner exit from the Suker chicane, unfortunately spinning and colliding with the barrier. Here comes Kapas though, down the inside attempting on Thump, but he's at least got past Hervas, who starts on the medium tyre and now has his teammate and compatriot Apex Not Found together, and they'll be spitting facts in Spanish on the radio, I'm sure, as they run through. Risbach's in 7th and Sok is challenging hard as they go into the Kostelic slalom, newly renamed with thanks to Senor Fac. Here as then Risbach holding on to that outside line as they head downhill in towards Modric, turn 12, and they're about to head through that death chicane for the first time of asking at pace with the drivers here. There was much talk of taking this chicane flat through qualifying. I don't know how many drivers dared do it, but I'm sure they won't be trying it on cold tyres and full of fuel. But there goes, it looks like Hervas, who collides with the wall. He's damaged the front wing, damaged the left front suspension as well, and he may now start thinking about releasing his teammate, who's on a better tyre at this stage and of course doesn't have the grip problem with that front wing damage. And indeed it looks like the Coach Dave drivers have swapped positions. That could be very key later on, and great teamwork from them here at the early part of the race. It's Wask, Finn and Thump at the front of the order. That's really fascinating then, because of course Finn is the driver of the three of them, the only one on the medium tyres as they run through. I just need to take a drink, excuse me a moment. You've got Kapas, I think, impressed with qualifying. He's impressing even more at the start of this race, up to 4th position, ahead of Apex Not Found. It looks like Hervas has dropped back. He's really struggling on this damaged front wing on the Coach Dave car. This is definitely causing problems for the Spaniard. Relative newcomer, but he's certainly put in plenty of miles on this car. I'm just see exactly how many miles he's got into this. 2,500 miles almost it will be by the end of this race. Sok chasing down Risbach, might be close enough down into the southwest biggest stop on the corner on the circuit. Sorry, the Modric turn 12, and through that chicane we go again. I'm calling it the Krokop-Volkov chicane, but you can rename this chicane. Oh, big slide from both drivers there as Apex Not Found just hangs on. Astonishing stuff, but I think we're going to have some action to review here. Let's go back, because Kapas had a problem. We'll look at it from Apex Not Found's perspective. All looking fairly normal here, flat out in towards the chicane. A big lift, and then I think possibly a distraction coming from him, and then reversing across the line of traffic goes Kapas. That looks like it's been a problem for Hervas, who also then had to happen upon a car that was going across the racing track, but there's not a lot of blame I can pin on him here. Oh, he'd already lost the car, had Hervas. Absolute carnage. It was nothing to do with the accident in front. It just seems the end of lap 2 means danger point for everybody. Absolutely astonishing as many cars fly by. Here comes Brum then to take advantage of a slow Kapas. Brum heading down the order, but we've got three-way battle. That's Bibar up to 9th place, but wearing a 3-second penalty. What on earth is that for? A 3-second penalty, hasn't gone into the pits. That's madness. Let's have a look for him as he runs through that chicane. It's just, that looks so innocuous for Bibar. I need to have another look at this one. There is no penalty on the car right now. What can possibly be wrong here, other than potentially stealing too much apex? He's fully off throttle here. We run through. We go to restart. We choose left, right, what on earth gave him the penalty? Overtaking under yellow flags potentially, but wow. That is incredibly harsh on B-Bar, so a lot of work to do for him as he draws alongside but gets repassed by Yank the Tank, doing double duty on this Racing Sunday for the Bergstein team. Obviously short on numbers are Bergstein at the moment. The B-Bar's going to feel that one next time round. Wask, Finn, Thump is your lead trio at the moment, but they are pretty far distant from one another and from the rest of the grid here. Finn taking the pain at the moment of the medium tyres. Thump looking about equitable on pace, himself on the softs and Finn on the mediums. Looks like a fastest lap so far from Wask, a 38.0. That's 1.2 seconds faster than Finn's second lap. But as I said, Thump and Finn both on 139s there. So it looks like they are roughly at pace distance between one another. Apex not found in 4th, Rizback in 5th, and Sock in 6th position. But we have a lot going on here. There is Biggerwood with a 3-second penalty. Yank the Tank comes through in 8th place. He'll pick up a position. We've also got a 3-second penalty then for B-Bar. We're going to have 5-way battle as they go through in towards the Ivanisevic corner next time around. But down we go into Modric. The penalty's not being paid off just yet. That is between turns 16 and 17, the end of the death chicane and the Ivanisevic final corner. Through we go then. You see the warning coming up for B-Bar. Biggerwood's going to pick up the same warning, of course, and the same deficit. But Yank the Tank is going to fly by the Biggerwood ahead. There is Biggerwood, absolutely almost to a dead stop. And oh, that's not cool at all. I'm not entirely sure the rights and wrongs of that one. But Yank the Tank not making avoiding action. He would be normally expecting that the car on penalty would be ghosted. Biggerwood was on one side. He's on the left-hand side. That's the racing line. He moves across. Yank then just nerfs in the rear of him as he unghosts, essentially. It is absolutely carnage. Capas goes past the both of them. Apex not found. Pits after the 3rd lap. What on earth is going on? That must be opening the window for the medium tyre then. Way in advance of what we'd expect. I think in comes Yank the Tank to fix the damage. Apex not found. Oh, it was damage on the front of the car, so he's going to try and go 16 laps on the medium tyre. Astonishing stuff. This is nightmare stuff for Yank, who's almost certainly going to have to stop this race now. Bannon is in 12th position, also in the pits, I'm assuming, with damage, yeah, front and rear for Bannon. Absolutely incredible stuff. This is looking like it's going to be a really difficult day going through that terrible chicane and on the way out of it as well. Looks like Thump has passed Finn. Now let's go back and see exactly what happened there. Was Finn slow through the chicane perhaps? Let's have a look. As this is on board with Wask. Was there a penalty being paid? I don't think so. Wask was just stronger on the way out of the chicane, draws alongside and goes down the inside on our championship leader, Pat Finn, as Wask takes that position. He's on the soft tyres though, remember, as Finn comes back at him. Let's see if this continues to run. Finn is not able to get the slipstream until he ducks back underneath the rear wing of the Delesi, the white and black Delesi AMG powered Adrian Newey Red Bull Racing Junior car, and we go down in towards the Suquet chicane. But Thump has that inside line expertly and hanging on then to 2nd place. It's Delesi 1-2, but both on the soft tyres at this stage of proceedings. Finn with a slower lap there, a 141.9, and I wonder if that dates all the way back to that chicane when things started to go pear-shaped. Rizback in 4th on the mediums with Sock in 5th, impressing as well. Sock with some great pace in the race so far. Capas in 6th place has avoided trouble but has a broken rear wing. You can see the effect of that as he wiggles his way through the Ishii corner and in towards Perisic. Then we head into the flying S section, the Kostelic slalom of turns 7, 8, 9, 10, and then the slight kink of 11 that I've been referring to as Kukoc corner. And around we go then. We've got some close battling going on. Biggerwood. This is B-Bar and Brum, excuse me. We've got a oversubscription of B's today. Biggerwood, Brum, B-Bar so far as we come down. If B-Bar is shaping for an overtake down into Modric corner. And that is textbook from B-Bar. Brum on the medium tyres, but is limping. Slightly wounded animal here with the broken front section of the car. So B-Bar getting through and just hanging on now. Let's see if he can move forward from his 8th position. Started, I believe it was 12th or thereabouts, and it looks like Biggerwood was slow through that corner for once again through the chicane as they head down towards the Ivanisevic corner. Biggerwood stays straight this time, and B-Bar gets 2 drivers inside of, well, just over 1 sector of the racetrack, and B-Bar up to P7 for Team Mega, justifying his position, no doubt. It's significant damage on Biggerwood's car, and he's going to 2-stop this race. There's no way you're going to get 15 laps out of the soft tyres, even with the turned down tyre wear rates. So that is really difficult then for Biggerwood to deal with. Brum is continuing to chase down B-Bar. You've got Yank the Tank behind Brum, driving here. Usually Yank an S1 driver, of course. Here comes Brum with the slipstream as they head into Ishii and Perisic corners. It looks like B-Bar just had the smoother of the runs through that difficult braking zone on the way through, and they go back uphill, and then it is a downhill S section through this Kostelich slalom. This is the lap 5 of the 19. Further up the field, do we have some more battling going on? I'm not quite sure. It looks like we've got Rysbach and Sock. Rysbach cannot relax. He's got Sock right behind him as they go through that Krokop-Volkov death chicane. And certainly the car getting very lively. The stiffest sprung cars that we have to race here, and that is a recipe for disaster when it comes to the death chicane, especially when you get that fuel on board. Rysbach running around in 4th position. Finn's gap to Thump is growing, I'm sorry to say, as teammates. This 40.9, 40.4. With Thump putting in a personal best 39.5 on that previous lap, so really making use of the soft tyres. I'm sure Finn cannot wait to get onto those soft tyres at this stage of the race, and we'll go back down through the order, try and find you a nice tight battle. It certainly looks like Rysbach and Sock are going to stay stay battling for the time being. B-Bar and Brum there, 7th and 8th as they were before, and then you've got Hervas and Yank the Tank battling over 9th position at the moment. Yank the Tank on his 2nd set of tyres onto the soft tyres. He started on the medium, so he's fulfilled the tyre change, compound change requirement of the league, but I don't see those soft tyres getting home to the end, so I think we'll be stopping once again as Hervas then tries to channel all the lessons he's learned from Vader, from Apex Specs. Apex not found in his in the increasingly Hispanic team of Coach Dave. Should I say Coach David, perhaps? Hervas P10 chasing down Yank the Tank for the Bugstein team. We've got Biggerwood in 11th, a little bit on his own after that pit stop. He's gone onto the soft tyres, changed that compound, but he won't get a great deal of life out of those soft tyres. Apex not found is in 12th. He has had to pit as well. Might be able to get home if he's very careful with the tyres. Bannon's in 13th on his debut here, and Milo at the back at the moment in P14. Wask has the fastest lap, a 1:38.075. The fastest lap important in the AN division, as it is in GT3. No push to pass gimmick going on here in these cars. No boost available to them. Yeah, that's something that they obviously have to deal without. Whereas our SF23 drivers, the S1 and S2 division drivers, they get to play with the gimmicks there and the toys at their disposal. The gap is quite significant now for Wask back to Thump and to Finn. That's going to be a big, tall order for Finn to climb back and get onto terms with Wask before the end of this one. About a 17-second pit stop without fuel going in, I think, has been the estimate here. So it's going to be interesting. Obviously, he's not 17 seconds further back. Sock has managed an overtake on Rysbach, which is great to see. Let's just see if that occurred reasonably recently ago. I think that's about here. Let's see how it built up then. Sock coming through on the way out of the final corner. Ivanisevic, and doing a great job there with a good slipstream. Rysbach giving him the inside line on the approach to Schuker corner, but cooperative drivers can go too wide through this next portion. Sock was taking an early apex, and then of course having a lot of work to do out on the marbles on the way out of that Schuker chicane, and completing the manoeuvre that took him a long time to get into a position, and but he took the first opportunity to make that pass, and well done to him. So up into P4 then for Sock, just about holding it within those track limits as they head back downhill after going through the Kostelic slalom down in towards the Modric turn 12, the biggest stop on the circuit, and it's lap 7 of 19, and it's Wask, Thump, Finn, Sock, Rysbach, Kapas, Brum, and Yank the Tank, the top 8 as things stand. Of course, the drivers at the rear of the field, 8th backwards, have had to suffer a lot of damage. Wask pits though after 7 laps, so that's quite interesting. 7 laps is all he's managed to do. Obviously then that means presumably that Finn is going to be targeting end of lap 12 or 13 to pit, so it hasn't made a huge difference in terms of tyre life. This is quite a high deg circuit, especially on that front left tyre. Brum driving with damage on the car, and looking forward, I think, to his first pit stop. So it looks like Wask is going to exit the pits out in P5. That could complicate matters for him on the new medium tyres, undamaged, unblemished car, unblemished performance so far, but there's plenty of work to do, and the drivers in front don't have to pit for a little while yet, so I'm sure he will catch them before they need to pit, and that will be problematic for the championship contender in P2, and he is only 7 points away from Finn at the head of the field. It's Thump at the moment though who leads from Finn, and Finn can still see Thump at the moment at least, for now, but Thump will presumably have to pit soon. Wask using his tyres a little bit more, you would have to say, than his teammate. Thump here cruising through the death chicane as if there isn't a care in the world through there, but I promise you through turn 3 and 4 of that, the Volkov section, the drivers will be holding their breath every single lap. Down we go into the Ivanisevic corner, and Thump taking a wide entry line. Does that mean it's going to be a narrow exit in towards pit road? Yes indeed, into the pit lane then for Thump, and Finn can finally breathe easy and get some clean air on that front wing for the first time in the race on lap 9 of 19, as he targets the 2/3 to 3/3 cut-off point of the race, probably around lap 12 or 13, to shed those medium tyres, put himself into a good position, but he does have significant damage on the front of the car. I wonder, you know, whether he hit the wall prior to the pass from Thump. I think he's driving a damaged Red Bull Junior car here at the moment. So clearly, I hadn't caught that earlier, but he has had some impact on that front wing. I don't think he ran into anybody that I could see, and you know, I don't want to make excuses for him, but there was clearly something going on where Thump managed to make the overtake and get such a much stronger run through that final corner on the lap that he preceding, where he went for the overtake into the first corner. It is Wask now catching Rysbach and Sock, who are running P3 and P2 respectively. Lots to do here for Wask. This is the trouble with going aggressive and starting on the soft tyres, is you obviously will have to do some passing through the mandatory pit stop. I feel fairly sure he will have the opportunity. He's actually coming upon that looks like it's probably Milo, who gets well out of the way. That is tremendous sportsmanship driving there from the Brokaga tail runner at the moment. But Wask, his sights will be more firmly set on Rysbach and Sock. Rysbach, typically quite a difficult driver to overtake. I think he'll probably appreciate that compliment. And he will know that Wask is faster, I would imagine, because he's probably well engineered by the Kimmy's Racing Team engineer at the moment. But he also knows it's for position, and he has to race his own race here, and he won't do himself any favours getting out of the way of the leader too compliantly. So a 1:39.4 was Wask's first flying lap on the medium tyres. Finn currently running 140.5. All the signs at the moment pointing to the fact that it seems Wask has the pace to cope with the threat of Finn, but it's whether or not they can string together a problem-free race, and the next few laps are going to be key, where he's not held up to too great an extent and can make the overtakes that he needs to make. Let's join him on board then as we head through the Kostelic slalom, so named after the Kostelic siblings. Fantastic Croatian skiing family with Olympic gold medals aplenty. Over the crest we go. Now we're going through the Kukoc left-hander and downhill towards the coastline, towards those cruise ships that await us as we head down in towards the Modric turn 12. I'm sure there'll be a party on that cruise ship after the race here for the winner and his followers. But who will that be? Who's your money on? It's lap 10 of the 19. Obviously, we've passed the halfway point, and now Wask has to go through this difficult chicane. Very much off the throttle, but that's a little bit easier then, because Rysbach has just gone wrong. Rysbach has just made a mistake as the tyres are letting go here. Big slide, big impact into the wall, and my commiserations to my French friend, Mr. Rysbach. So that one hurt him, and it really helped Wask here, who now only has one car to overtake before he can start a nice clear run. He's getting a better traction run out of the final corner, of course, because he's on the newer medium tyres. He's also now gaining a little bit of slipstream as he powers down that start-finish straight. Haven't named the straights actually yet, but down we go in towards the Suker chicane. Just a few days left to name the death chicane, rename the death chicane by donating to our charitable cause. Details about that in the S1 stream live chat, and also in the Discord SVR news channel as well. Here comes Wask then to chase down Sock. Forgive me for focusing on this one, but this is obviously over the lead. This is about the lead of the race. This is about getting those clean, good laps to go. Finn will be plotting and scheming what he's going to do. How early can he get the repairs done on the car? How soon can he get onto those soft tyres? Through this Kostelic slalom we go, down through the Kukoc corner and heading in towards Modric, down into the turn 12, and Wask clearly much later, much smoother on the brakes, and a very clean pass in the end from our championship contender Wask for the Delesi squad. Finn, meanwhile, up front doing 40.5s and consecutive mid 1 minute 40s for the last 4 laps on the trot. He's also had a 39.9 in there, and with the damage on the car, that's no mean feat whatsoever. Only a little bit quicker is Wask with the brand new medium tyres on at the moment. So Finn is doing his absolute level best here. He followed Wask for a lot of the last couple races, but Wask is now in a position where he's still got plenty of work to do to try and win this one. Finn showing that he's got a fair amount of pace. I wonder if the fight will be on by the time we get to the end of the pit stop sequence and the race, because of course roles will be reversed and Finn will have, for a little while at least, the soft tyre advantage for a few laps. Rysbach's in 4th place, hasn't pitted still after that collision with the barrier. Thump is in 5th and Brum is in 6th. We've got Hervas in 7th. Biggerwood now pits with 17 litres of fuel remaining to him. He's gone long on these soft tyres to this point through to lap 11, but I think this is his second stop, and that is confirmed there. And it should be now that the pit window is open for the softs to run to an end, so the drivers getting in and getting onto those tyres early doors. So we've got Hervas and Apex not found for Coach Dave, 7th and 8th position. Bibar doing well here, and he's hunting over 9th place that Capas is currently holding, I should say. Capas debuting with us. Bibar only in his 2nd race here in the Adrian Newey division. Capas, I think, has secured a full-time seat for the Bro Cargo team, who have been short of a few drivers here and there. But Finn now pits with 7 litres of fuel remaining at the end of lap 12. He's going to run a 7-lap soft tyre stint. We'll have a look at where things stand for him, but his teammate at the moment fighting to try and get hold of 9th place. We've got Yank the Tank in 11th, Biggerwood in 12th right now. Nice close battle here between 10th, 11th, 12th and 13th Bannon. Millo some distance away at the back of the grid at the moment. Wusk is in first position. Thump retakes 2nd place, and Finn has yet to fully emerge from the pit lane. Here he comes then on the soft tyres. That's a healthy gap then for Wusk. He's also got Thump ahead of him. So Thump on the medium tyres will be Finn's first target, I'm sure. Let's try and get in those good hot laps. Try and bring the tyres in as gently as possible, and at least try and place 2nd where we started is the plan, I think, here at the moment for Finn. We've got to set some fast times to try and at least put the pressure on the drivers around us. It looks like Thump running in the low 1:40s. That's going to be difficult pace to match. As the gaps have opened up now, the drivers have started to consolidate what positions they were holding at earlier on, and started to get used to that difficult chicane. Here is Rysbach on his first flying lap then. Same identical strategy to Pat Finn at the head of the field, so he's now going to be quicker than the used medium runners in front of him. I think Hervas had an early stop earlier than he was hoping for, so he's going to run very long and deep into the medium tyre where credentials. A little shattered right front headlight there for Rysbach. They weren't able to repair that in the pits. They didn't have any spares. It's a difficult change for the drivers, and we're not racing at night, so it's less of a problem. It is a problem though following a car this closely through the chicane. Rysbach actually backing off a little bit, I think, through here, and he'll be very nervous, and there goes Hervas. Hervas, unfortunately, just saving it on the way through the corner, but that was mighty close. It was almost identical issue to what struck Rysbach earlier on. So Hervas, big slide, oversteer moment coming out of the final part of the Volkov section of that death chicane, hitting the barrier to a small degree, not enough to cause damage, so he just about escaped that ignominy. But Rysbach back up to 6th place then, and he'll be eyes focused forward on Brum, who's not far away there for Berkestein at the front in that 5th place. But Rysbach then gaining that position basically after Hervas suffered the same issue that Rysbach himself had. So Kimi's racing team in 6th place at the moment. Hervas in 7th. We've got Apex not found in 8th place. A long gap between himself and his teammate at the moment. And Capas is here in 9th place, and close behind is Biggerwood, seasoned veteran of the league, and Biggerwood then hoping to try and get better than a 10th position. That looks like Capas had an issue going through the corner. We'll need to replay that one and see exactly what happened to Capas here. Let's have a look. There's a little bit offline going into the next corner, a little bit offline going through into Suker chicane. Just got a little bit too much of both curbs here, and Biggerwood expertly avoiding contact, and just went neatly through there into 9th place. So that worked out very well for Jan Placht Interiors and their driver Biggerwood in the Versace helmet, of course, as he continues to wear. Then we've got Yank the Tank for Bergstein, not expecting to be down in 11th after being an S1 driver and reserve driving here in the Adrian Newey division. I know he had an issue at the start, but yeah, you've got to wonder if that is allowed to have someone reserving down a division, but there you go. The controversies continue in the league, and the reserving policies that aren't really written down anywhere, I think. Just sort of rumours and and question marks over eligibility. Side by side into the Desha game, boys. Oh, let's take it steady. Certainly looks like Capas has been a little bit leery in this lap. He's just about halfway worn for the usable wear rate of his tyres. He ducks to the inside line going into Ivanisevic, defending down to that inside line as he has the right to do. Oh, but then gets a bit slidey going mid corner Looks like Yank the Tank is going to try and get the run here, and he has got a run on Capas. Yank the Tank in the lighter coloured Bergstein car. Oh, they've got trouble brewing here as Capas slots back in to get another dose of that slipstream. Will retaliate, go down the inside, and well, outbrakes himself and makes a bit of a mess of the Suker chicane. Yank the Tank goes through fairly smoothly. You've got Brum right on the back of this one as well, trying to take advantage, and Capas is going to find himself passed by two white and teal cars in the space of a sector. They just touch on the way into the corner. Capas brakes too late in towards Perisic corner and loses out, unfortunately. And that was short shrift being dealt out by the Buckstein pairing to Capas. Welcome to racing here at SVR, I think, is the message that we're showing. But Apex not found in 11th, Bannon in 12th. We've got B-Bar in 13th place after his pit stop. A little bit of work to do at the moment for B-Bar. Milo is in 14th place and just hanging on through the chicane as we watch them. We cut over to the lead of the race. It's Wask running a 1 minute 39.412 on the medium tyres. The pace just dropping off slightly at this point. The fastest lap so far, a 37.6 for Pat Finn, but the gap is quite significant at this point. Through the Kostelic slalom we go, and there's still quite a bit of work to do for Pat Finn. There's only 3 complete laps remaining to him, and he's got to catch Thump first of all and hope that Wask has a problem. But we do have a problem for another rival coming through the corners here. There is Apex not found. Let's see what happened to him. Excuse me, just trying to hang on to my voice at the moment as we run through the chicane. Krokop is fine. Volkov is not fine. Into the barrier we go, unfortunately, and that was another spin on the corner. We're just going to clatter, just going to cause matching damage, and that is weird, isn't it? He just about gets out the way of everybody else, but weird that second impact on the front managed to damage the car when the initial contact at the rear didn't seem to damage it. So that was crazy. But Finn running only 007 slower than he's been before through the first 2 sectors of the racetrack. Could still be another fastest lap here. 37.6 is what he has set so far on lowish fuel on the soft tyres here. Could be a stroke of genius to use this strategy. This is the traditional strategy for the Mega Racing team, and of course for the AN division, to run the mediums first. And he's catching Thump now, I do believe. I think there's only 2 seconds between himself and Thump, but that's still got to be a very difficult deficit to overcome in just 2 racing laps. Finn with a 1:37.7, just 1/10 of a second, not even a tenth, away from the fastest lap that he set on the lap prior. So he is absolutely lighting up the timing screens right now, Finn, and a lot of work to do. He needs to manage the tyre through to the end of the race, and that's the challenge here. And he is closing in on Thump, who put in a 39.3 to Finn's 37.7. So if Finn can catch him quickly, the pressure will be on. But has Wasp checked out to too great an extent here? Is the damage that Finn suffered, did that rob us of a potential battle between the two? I do wonder. I may even at the end of the race have to just check back and see what happened to Pat Finn. He'll be begging me not to if it was something that he pushed himself into, but I kind of want to know now. The Thump in second, and there is Finn in that 3rd place coming through. I'm sure that's less than 2 seconds now. Here comes Finn through the corner. Lots of activity on that steering wheel at the moment. We've got a driver off the circuit, and it is Milo, unfortunately, who has spun on the approach to Perisic. Now that's an unusual one for me. What happened here? He was offline, was he? Oh, that looks like a disconnection. Does he actually pick up? And he's starting again. That looks like an equipment failure to me, but unless he was just distracted by something, and that happens, of course. Drivers, it can happen to the best of us. We can get easily distracted by something that's been going on out of our control, or just in our house somewhere, and we can hear a noise It looks like Thump with a good lap that time, 38.6. That's a faster lap from him. Personal best, in fact, from Thump, as he is now trying to stop the charging Pat Finn, who I've taken to calling the postman, because he always delivers a podium, does Pat Finn. But he'll be hoping to get back onto the winner's rostrum, on the winner's step of that podium. Podiums may not be enough through to the end of the season with the gaps as they are. He certainly needs this second place today if he can get it. Thump in second, Wask leading the race, and he's halfway through the Kostelich slalom at the moment, and Thump and Finn are just entering it. So Wask has had to make an overtake for just to put a lap on a rival here as they come through, and then we go through. This is the penultimate lap at the moment, and the gap is not really enough between Thump and Finn. Thump has got to do a great job here for Leigh, but he's feeling those tyres at the moment as he sort of inches his way gingerly out of Modric corner. Pat Finn is going to have more confidence at this stage, even though they've got a similar amount of wear on their tyres. Pat Finn will have that little bit of extra confidence, a little bit of extra grip, and he's got more speed coming out of the chicane. He's actually in striking distance to head down into Ivanisevic corner. It could be an outside-inside manoeuvre coming from Pat Finn. It's not quite there, but Thump has had a little slide. Pat Finn makes an evasive action, and both drivers hang on. Matching little drifts on the way through this corner. Craziness as they're both pushing so hard. It's astonishing. There's the first one and the second one then, and so Pat Finn loses his momentum coming out of the final corner as they start that final lap. That could rob Pat Finn of the opportunity to make the overtake throughout the course of this race, purely by accident, as both drivers push that little bit too hard that the tyres were willing to give them. A small amount of fuel on Pat Finn's car as well, but he's got a good run here. He's just getting a little bit greedy on the exit of the Suket chicane. It's looking uncharacteristically ragged right now from Finn, who is desperate to get onto that second step of the podium with his friend and rival Wask, who is way in ahead, in a much better position here. This is the challenge for second position into the Kostelich slalom. We go next up, and Pat Finn is almost pushing Thump through. There's no way through this chicane on similar paced vehicles at the moment. Let's see what we can do as we head over the Kukoc left kink of the turn 11 down in towards Modric. Pat Finn is going to have to do it all in the final sector of the racetrack. Will we see him able to triumph over Thump, or will Thump defend? He's defending into the chicane. That could compromise him into the corners. Pat Finn is unsighted to these difficult barriers as they go through. That is too close for comfort. Thump has masterfully held on. Wask is coming through the Ivanisevic corner next up, and out of the final corner. Wask is going to win once again here in the AN division, taking round 10, victorious for Leigh, and it's going to be a 1-2 for the Leigh squad, and they'll be absolutely overjoyed. Finn fought hard, but ultimately came home one place down in third position than he had been hoping for overall. I'm sure he started the race planning on challenging for the win. This is looking very strong from the 55 Sock. With the green flashes on his rear wing and mirrors for the Jamplakt Interiors squad. Sock taking fourth place. Bravo, and bravo indeed to Rizbak, who takes his Kimi's Racing Team Ferrari-powered Kimi's Racing Team car over the line for fifth position. Good stuff from him. We've got Hervas in sixth place coming through. It looks like we might have a battle going on. Potentially for 11th place. Apex Not Found has finished in 13th, and we've got Milo in 14th. Looks like B-Bar 12th place at the moment here coming through, and could be about to take a position potentially. Let's try and catch up with the other finishes. Biggerwood in 7th, Hervas in 6th, 7th, Brum in 8th. Brum crossing the line. Here comes Kapas on his debut, taking home a top 10 finish in P9 for Kapas. Yank the Tank in 10th place, and here are the final three to finish on the grid at the moment. On the lead lap, Yank the tank, can he exit out of the final corner? Have they all got enough fuel? It looks like Yank is virtually out of fuel, is he? He's a drag race to the finish, and across the line goes both Bannon and P-Bar to pick a position, and Yank the tank runs out of fuel on the line. Astonishing stuff. A great finish from our drivers, and I'm sorry, Pat. I'm really, really sorry, but I need to know what happened to your car. So let's have a look, shall we? We'll wait to try and find the damage moment. No, can't see it. Sorry, Pat. I don't know where it's gone. When did you get damage? It's very clunky here, I'm afraid. You're going to absolutely hate me for this, but I'm just desperate to know when you picked up damage, because it's such a rarity. This is crazy. It's not actually taking me forward the laps, is it? Why won't it let me forward the laps? Ah! Okay, maddening. Right, okay, it's lap 4, somewhere on lap 4. Here we go. In towards the chicane, it's wide. Oh, it was such a minor little contact, but damaging. How on earth do you damage the front right suspension with a small little contact like that? That is mighty confusing for me. Let's have another quick little look at this. Oh, that is so harsh. That is really harsh, and that's what led to the issue then for Pat Finn. Okay, my apologies to my good friend and teammate for that one. Pat Finn finishing then ultimately in third. There are your standings. That's the finishing order of the race. Thanks so much everybody for watching. I really appreciate it. Like the video, support the channel in any of the ways that you possibly can. Make sure you're subscribing to SVR-Racing YouTube channel as well. And from me, Webbo, from everybody at SVR, we'll catch you on the next race day.